The Vatican, a fortress of faith, stood cloaked in an unusual silence. Whispers, hushed and hesitant, replaced the usual symphony of prayer and debate. Pope Francis, the people's pontiff, was unwell. His once vigorous steps had slowed, his smile grown weary. The weight of the Church, a burden shared by few, seemed to press upon him with increasing heaviness. Speculation swirled through the sacred halls. Was the Pope's failing health the only reason for the growing concern? Or were there other, more complex issues at play? The Curia, the Church's governing body, had always been a place of intricate alliances and simmering tensions. Had those tensions finally boiled over? The world watched, holding its breath, as a sense of foreboding descended upon the Holy See. The faithful prayed for their shepherd, their hearts heavy with a premonition of change. The winds of history, it seemed, were once again stirring within the ancient walls of the Vatican. Pope Francis, a man who had dedicated his life to serving God and humanity, bore the weight of countless souls upon his shoulders. The world, beset by conflict, poverty, and injustice, looked to him for guidance, for solace, for hope. He had tried to answer that call, to be a voice for the voiceless, a champion for the marginalized. Yet the challenges seemed insurmountable, the burden immense. The Church itself grappled with internal divisions, grappling with questions of doctrine and tradition in a rapidly changing world. Conservatives and progressives within the Church pulled in different directions, each faction convinced that their path held the key to the Church's future. The weight of expectation, the constant scrutiny, the sheer magnitude of the task at hand, it was enough to crush even the strongest spirit. Pope Francis, despite his best efforts, was not immune to the toll it took. His health faltered, a stark reminder of the frailty of human existence, even one cloaked in the mantle of papal authority. On a crisp winter morning, the bells of St. Peter's Basilica tolled, their somber knell echoing across Rome. The faithful, drawn by a mixture of anticipation and dread, gathered in St. Peter's Square. All eyes were fixed on the central balcony, the same balcony where countless pronouncements had reshaped the course of history. The doors opened and a hush fell over the crowd. A high-ranking cardinal, his face etched with solemnity, stepped onto the balcony. His voice, amplified by loudspeakers, carried a message that would reverberate around the world. Pope Francis, citing his declining health and the need for new leadership, had made the momentous decision to resign. A collective gasp, followed by stunned silence, met the announcement. The world watched, captivated, as the Cardinal, his voice heavy with emotion, read out the Pope's letter of resignation. The words, simple yet profound, marked the end of an era. The eyes of the world now turned to the College of Cardinals. Tasked with the sacred duty of electing the next Supreme Pontiff, they gathered in the Sistine Chapel, their deliberations veiled in secrecy. Among them, a figure of quiet charisma and deep intellect stood out, Cardinal Luis Antonio Tagle, the Archbishop of Manila. Born and raised in the Philippines, a nation with a deep Catholic heritage, Cardinal Tagle represented a significant shift in the Church's demographics. Known for his compassion, his unwavering commitment to social justice, and his ability to connect with people from all walks of life, he had long been seen as a rising star within the Church. His theological acumen was matched by his humble demeanor. He spoke of love, compassion, and inclusivity, echoing Pope Francis's own message of a more open and welcoming Church. In a world increasingly divided by ideology and conflict, Cardinal Tagle's message of unity and understanding resonated deeply. Asia's ascent, a new dawn for the Catholic Church. The world held its breath as the white smoke, signaling the election of a new pope, billowed from the chimney atop the Sistine Chapel. A collective cheer erupted when the Cardinal Protodeacon, his voice filled with emotion, announced the name of the new Pontiff, His Holiness Pope Tagle, the first ever Pope from Asia. The significance of this moment was not lost on anyone. The Catholic Church, historically centered in Europe, was undergoing a seismic shift. The election of an Asian pope signaled a recognition of the faith's growing presence in the East, a testament to the dynamism and diversity of the global Catholic community. Nowhere was the joy more palpable than in the Philippines. From bustling Manila to remote villages nestled in the mountains, Filipinos celebrated the elevation of one of their own to the highest office in the Catholic Church. It was a moment of immense pride, a testament to the enduring power of faith, a papacy forged in hope, tempered by trials. Pope Tagle's papacy began with a message of hope and unity. He spoke of the need to build bridges of understanding, to heal the divisions that plagued both the Church and the wider world. He called for a renewed commitment to social justice, urging the faithful to stand up for the poor, the marginalized, and the voiceless. Yet, challenges awaited him. The Church remained deeply divided on issues of doctrine and social teaching. The specter of past scandals continued to cast a long shadow. External pressures, from secularism to geopolitical tensions, threatened to undermine the Church's moral authority. Pope Tagle, acutely aware of the weight of history and the expectations placed upon him, embarked on his papacy with a blend of pragmatism and idealism. He knew that change, if it was to be meaningful and lasting, had to be rooted in dialogue, understanding, and a willingness to confront difficult truths. Reformation or revolution charting the course of a new era. As Pope Tagle settled into his new role, the question on everyone's mind was, what kind of pope would he be? Would he be a reformer, working within the existing structures of the Church to bring about gradual change? Or would he be a revolutionary, willing to challenge long-held traditions and shake the Church to its core? His early actions suggested a nuanced approach, a blend of continuity and change. He reaffirmed the Church's core teachings on matters of faith and morals, while simultaneously emphasizing the need for compassion, mercy, and a more inclusive approach to pastoral care. He reached out to those on the margins, engaging in dialogue with the LGBTQ+ community, advocating for greater environmental stewardship, and calling for a more just and equitable global order. His papacy, it seemed, would be defined by a willingness to engage with the complexities of the modern world while remaining firmly rooted in the gospel message of love and redemption. The weight of the fisherman's ring legacy and the long shadow of history. Every pope inherits not only the mantle of St. Peter, but also the weight of history. The decisions made, the words spoken, and the actions taken echo through the ages, shaping the destiny of the Catholic Church and its 1.3 billion members worldwide. Pope Tagle, acutely aware of this legacy, understood that his papacy would be defined not only by his response to immediate challenges, but also by his ability to chart a course for the Church in the 21st century. Would he be remembered as a bridge builder, a unifier who helped heal the divisions within the Church and foster greater understanding between different faiths and cultures? Or would his papacy be marked by the same struggles and controversies that have plagued the Church for centuries? A Church reborn, embracing the future with open arms. The future of the Catholic Church, like the future of humanity itself, remained unwritten. Yet amidst the uncertainty, a sense of cautious optimism prevailed. Pope Tagle's election, with its symbolism of change and renewal, had injected a much-needed dose of hope into the Church. His message of compassion, his commitment to social justice, and his willingness to engage with the complexities of the modern world resonated with millions. His papacy, while still in its early stages, held the promise of a Church that was both deeply rooted in its traditions and yet open to the promptings of the Holy Spirit. The journey ahead would be fraught with challenges, but the Catholic Church, under the guidance of its new shepherd, seemed poised to embrace the future with both courage and hope, its gaze fixed firmly on the gospel message of love, redemption, and the transformative power of faith. Please subscribe to our channel History Documentary Hub for more insightful videos and intriguing content.